I am the Regional Board Chair, Gail Gibbon, and with me today is City Mayor Colin Bazaran and the Director of Economic Development Commission, Corey Griffiths. I'd also like to acknowledge that on video conference with us, we do have West Bank First Nation Chief Christopher Derrickson, City of West Kelowna Mayor Gord Milsom, District of Lake Country Mayor James Baker, and District of Peachland Mayor Cindy Fortin. Thank you all for joining us. Now, over the last weeks, my mind has never been far from the impacts that the COVID-19 pandemic is having on our community, our families, and our work. And I expect you've experienced exactly the same. We have been keenly focused on keeping our community safe, and rightly so. We cannot let up on health practices yet. But like economies around the globe, we are seeing our economy impacted. What has been inspiring to me is the flexibility and the ingenuity with which our local businesses have responded, making changes where possible to keep their employees working and their doors open. And we recognize it's been an extreme challenge. Today, we want to let you know that we stand behind you and will be working to ensure our business community is supported. This will take a two-pronged approach. First, there will be short-term actions to help businesses weather the storm over the next 3 months. Second, we are launching the Regional Mayors and West Bank First Nation Chiefs Economic Recovery Task Force that will guide an economic recovery strategy driving our region to emerge stronger. Mayor Bazaran will tell you more about that when I'm done. The group of us have come together to address these issues because we know the regional economy is interconnected with workers and businesses moving very fluidly across our region. And it will take all of us to navigate this together. I'd like to share with you the work that is already underway to assist businesses in the short term. The Central Okanagan Economic Development Commission continues to lead in the community on behalf of the region. They've already established an economic response action team made up of chambers of commerce, boards of trade, tourism and business organizations across the region. They are meeting regularly to gather input and determine what resources or support businesses need through this evolving situation. The Economic Development Commission is also encouraging and coordinating a regional approach to our economic response and recovery. They are offering one-to-one concierge support and guidance to businesses, monitoring provincial and federal programs as they become available, and communicating business needs to senior government organizations on behalf of the region. They're also making it easy for businesses to find and understand what options are available to them by gathering relevant resources and providing them on our website with simple, plain language guides. Continuing, as always, to leverage the business and industry expertise of the standing 45-person COEDC Council, which includes a cross-section of major industry leaders, business service providers, academia, elected officials, and community economic development officers. They're also sharing successes so that others might be able to adopt similar tactics and celebrating the entrepreneurial spirit of the Central Okanagan business community as they adapt to support the community. Some examples from right here at home: local distilleries producing hand sanitizer, cannabis companies donating personal protective equipment, manufacturers stepping up to offer their production lines to the federal government if needed. We continue to be heartened by the community spirit of Okanagan entrepreneurs and endeavor to support their efforts. Thank you, and now I will hand it over to Mayor Bazaran.
Thank you very much, Chair Given. Actually, just before I get started, can we get everyone again to just mute their microphones or check to make sure that you're muted? We've got one or two people who are making quite a lot of noise, and it's making it quite difficult to follow along because the noise is a bit distracting. So again, just a reminder to everybody, if you can, to please mute your microphones. I'll just give you a sec to do that before we carry on. That sounds much better. I think we have solved the issue. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. And good afternoon. First, I just want to again welcome Chief Derrickson and Mayors Milsom, Fortin, and Baker. Thank you very much for joining us. And thank you, Chair Given, for kicking things off and for the great information. Certainly, the RDCO's coordination of our needs through the Central Okanagan Economic Development Commission gives local businesses and workers confidence that their needs will be heard and actions will follow to help them weather this storm. I want to thank Corey Griffiths from the Economic Development Commission for setting us on a path to our short-term response and long-term economic recovery. Your experience in the EDC's 45-member advisory council representing every business sector and every local community will serve us well during this major challenge. And a final thank you to the City of Kelowna's Business Development Director, Robert Fine, whose expertise and knowledge of the local market will be invaluable to us in the months ahead. With the commitment of our region's elected leaders to work together on the long-term economic recovery, we are pledging to emerge from this crisis closer than we were before, stronger than we were before, and better positioned to encourage new opportunities for economic prosperity. Gail and I will co-chair the Regional Mayors and West Bank First Nation Chiefs Economic Recovery Task Force. This will be for the long-term recovery phase of 4 to 18 months. We will develop and implement a long-term plan to re-energize our local economy, retain our business base, and support employers and workers as they get back to work following the response phase. Staff from the Economic Development Commission and City of Kelowna will provide the task force chairs administrative support to facilitate monthly, virtual, or in-person meetings with regional mayors and Chief Derrickson to communicate actions and status reports. A few of the focus areas for the task force will include to analyze industry vulnerability and prioritize industry sectors for response, to advocate for anticipated stimulus program funding for the Central Okanagan area residents and businesses, to serve as a conduit for local economic development and business support organizations so that we have a coordinated regional approach to response and recovery, to act as a conduit, linking various community initiatives to avoid duplication and use our resources effectively, and to position Central Okanagan as a leader and center of knowledge and expertise. As we've seen during this pandemic, we are learning to do things differently, using technology to communicate remotely, to be more efficient with our time, and finding new ways to provide services. We are, as you all know, an extremely entrepreneurial community, and we have a strongly diversified economy. Qualities that position us well for the challenges and opportunities we have ahead of us. We can see that from events such as Tourism Kelowna's virtual town hall happening tomorrow about local organizations' plans and insights on recovery. Our main message to everyone is that we will do everything we can to get our businesses and their employees the support they need to get back on track. We've never lived through this kind of business disruption before, but we have faced many other challenges together. And that's how we'll get through this too, emerging stronger together. Thank you.